probably have seen this on Facebook and Twitter was going around, and it's a very heartwarming story, but it's upsetting that some people, particularly the state too, is just knocking people down. Like literally, they knock people down when there's something positive. They want to knock people down. So you probably heard that a dog was stranded, was rescued from the Wicklow Mountains. A family went up and rescued a dog from the Wicklow Mountains. I'll just show you a picture of it, just so people might not understand what I'm saying. So you probably know that picture that was going around the internet for a while. So in the Wicklow Mountains. So they were reported to the Gardaí for breaching the 5k. Now, before I say anything else, if you're against restrictions or you're for restrictions, I'm sure people would say at the end of the day, when a push comes to shove, you have to have some humanity. And again, this is somebody who knows, who obviously goes around and deals with people with civil matters, League of Dublin, Litterman, Downfall, etc. You have to show sometimes humanity, and that's the word. You have to be human. You have to be human to some people. Like sometimes, there's no question somebody needs to be punished for the crimes. But again, these people did nothing wrong. And simple as that. Now that's my opinion on it. They went up and rescued a dog. There's nothing stopping them. Everything the Constitution says you're entitled to, you travel. And again, shame on the people who reported these people for going outside the 5k. Shame on the people and shame on the guards for even listening to these reports. It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. Again, up in a mountain. What harm can they do in a mountain? Like, can these people not understand? I don't know what, like, they're saying here, the guards, that, well, not with the guards, but more or less what they're saying. So they went approximately 10 kilometres, so obviously an extra 5k. So basically they said, so basically what they said is basically the COVID restrictions, and etc, etc. But it was a very heartwarming story, and the guards come along with the deep state, and push people down. These people who reported this person from rescuing the dog, it's very heartwarming, I'm sure people would agree, from rescuing the dog. And again, this bureaucracy got mad. It's the way it is, bureaucracy got mad. Like, it's a joke. It really is. Like, I'm sure people would agree that, humanity. Again, as I was saying, humanity. Some kind of small bit of humanity for people. And again, that seems to be out of touch with society nowadays. But again, you have to have humanity. And these people do nothing wrong. Let's be honest. And if they get fined, I wouldn't be surprised, because this country is just completely upside down world. They just, as I say, the guards probably find them. They probably even get prison over it. That's the worst thing about it. And then these politicians go off with a big sum of money and belong to the taxpayer, and nobody says fuck all about that. Forgive me for my language, but I am not very pleased. I'm sure people can see it in my face. I'm not very pleased. Because again, first of all, I don't even think it matters if people move around or not. It's still, whatever the virus or whatever was still spread. It doesn't matter, I don't think. At this point, I don't think it matters if you go to Baltol, but if you go to Notre Dame, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter where you go. But it's just the fact that, it's ridiculous. Again, I just say to the guards, what happened with the guards the time they had the party? But in RTE, that's a great example. RTE had their little party. They went on a training course, and nothing was done about it. And the guards are going around intimidating these people. Which I wouldn't be surprised. And again, if I was a guard, I would pass no remarks. And simple as that, I would, even though I could lose my job, I would pass no remarks. Obviously, if there's some people, again, you're entitled to travel. You're already entitled. There's nothing that can really stop you from travelling. It's your inevitable. Your human rights say you have freedom of movement, and the Constitution of Ireland says it, too. So it's not really. And anyway, just to say, I don't want to seem like a conspiracy theory or anything like that, but it does really state in the Constitution, and to be honest, nobody's really admitted it. Apart, OT never will admit it. That it doesn't say anything without or anything like that in the Constitution. It says wars and insurrections, rebellions, in other words. It never says anything about health or viruses or anything like that. So that's where the government gets extra powers, emergency powers, as was done in World War II, because obviously there was a war going on just on our neighbourhood doorstep, and literally right up the road here in Northern Ireland. So obviously there was a state of emergency, because God knows what could have happened at that time. So that was understandable. There was a war, and that obviously was in the Constitution. If there was a war of insurrection, then the emergency powers can be used. But again, this legislation is not in the Constitution, which means it has to be amended into the Constitution if it was being put in. But it's but again, this is just It's bureaucracy come mad, is what it is. Would you believe it is like it's just you often just wonder. You really just often have to wonder to yourself, what are we turning into? Like really, what are we turning into as a people to go to this extent? And again, whoever reported these have no lives. And this is it, but then I'm just saying they have no lives. They're literally nothing if they're going around reporting people for rescuing a dog in the mountain. Like, what people do that? Like, let's be honest here. Let's be honest for a second. It'd be different if somebody was going just for the sake of going somewhere. Just for the sake of going from, let's take for example Sligo to Galway or whatever. Even though they have every right in humanity to travel, you know, but I'm still like again. This is the thing. I hate the way that they could get a fine for this, and it'd be the biggest joke. And like again, this country is just a joke, and it's just beyond the joke. It's an insult to everybody the way this country is going on at the moment. Especially because I can't get over it. I really can't get over it. They were on a mountain. I wouldn't mind if they were in the middle of in the middle of a town or anything like that. But on a mountain, what harm are they doing on a mountain? Rescuing a dog. What in the name of God are they doing? That's so, as they say, for breaking restrictions. They're in the middle of nowhere. Like, what more do you need, lads? What more do you need to go? Like, it's just, I wouldn't mind if they went to the middle of Wicklow town or something like that. That'd be maybe a different story, but they're in the middle of nowhere. What harm are they out to anybody? They're not a danger to anybody. And this is the thing, I just don't get it. I really don't get it why somebody would do. Anyway, humanity's strange. Country's strange.